Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Christina's Corner. As you can see from the title, this week we are going to be talking about the real estate exam. I had a lot of people ask me about it, so I decided to make a video on it. So if you want to know things about the real estate exam, stay tuned. Before we get into this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notifications when I post. And now I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to pass your real estate exam. Step 1, focus in your class. Now, as for me, I did my class online, which means I was at home in my environment, and it was super hard for me to study. I could hear everything. I would want to look out the window. I had a window beside me. It was just super hard for me to focus, but I think it was something that I really needed. I did it. I even had my class on a Saturday at like 8 a.m. So there were times when I would just mute my computer and just take a nap. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have. Don't judge me on that. But yes, that's what I did. I would take a little nap while class was going on, and I would just mute my computer. So definitely online was not something that I should have done. However, I did my test during COVID, so that was the only option I had. So it was a little hard for me to focus in class. Don't judge me, but now you know not to do what I did. So there you go. Step 2 is to read and memorize your vocabulary. I honestly can say that vocabulary is the biggest thing when it comes to the real estate exam. If you know your vocabulary, then you'll understand the questions, and that'll help you pass. Because I know that's what I did. I took a lot of practice tests, but the reason why I passed and I was getting, even my practice test questions was because the first few times of me studying on my own, the first few days of me studying on my own was me learning my vocabulary. I had flashcards. I would take my flashcards everywhere with me. I had family members helping me with my flashcards. So I would definitely have to say that vocab is super important when you are studying for your exam. Tip 3 is find a website to study on. And for me, mine was YouTube. I literally just Googled real estate exam. Everything would come up. A lot of information is on YouTube. They will break it down in real time. The vocabulary, they will break it down in real time for you so that you can understand it. I use Prep Agent, and I use other ones, but Prep Agent was the most that I used, and it definitely helped, guys. Like, flashcards is good and all, but the thing that I like about YouTube is they literally will break it down for you using like video examples, and it helps because you're seeing it in real time and you're understanding what those vocabulary words mean. So then when you do use your vocabulary flashcards, it's easier to understand. So definitely YouTube. Prep Agent has a website that you can go to. That works as well, but definitely find a website that you could go to that has like practice questions and things like that. And that definitely helps. Tip 4, take as many practice tests that you can. I would not say do it like the day or 2 before your test. I think those days should be towards your vocabulary, like vocabulary review, making sure that you truly and really can understand your vocabulary. But if you have a few days that you can just take practice tests, I would do that, because practice test gives you different examples of scenarios. Like that's pretty much what the exam was. It'll have the same vocabulary, but they'll put it in a different term on a different question. So it's just, that's why I say vocabulary is so important, because if you know your vocabulary word, you'll pretty much know at least 2 questions. Like, you get what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm rambling about these vocabulary words, but I'm just trying to get you to understand how important vocabulary words are. Yes, definitely do practice tests a little bit before your test, but not the day or 2 before your test, because those are review days. but take as many practice tests. Make sure that you're taking your states as well, because if you take other states and theirs are different, that could confuse you. So just make sure if you go to your PSI website for your state, they have a practice test that you can take. It does cost, however, it's a good way to get an idea of what's on the test. And I would definitely say, because you pay per test, so make sure that you can even take a screenshot, like you do it on your computer. Take a screenshot so you'll remember the questions, but you just can't go back. So make sure that you know your vocabulary before you take the PSI's practice tests. If I don't see a lot of people talking about this, this is actually something that I just came up with because this is something that I did and I was like, whoa, this is great. Nobody told me to do this. If you go to the PSI website and you click in your state, they have like a PSI Bulletin, I think it's called, and it'll give you, it gives you so much information, including an outline of what's going to be on the test, which was so great for me because there was stuff that I was studying that wasn't going to be on the test. It was actually going to be on the broker test. So I'm like, I'm glad I found this because I'm wasting my time on stuff that is not even going to be on the test. It's good to know, so it's good for you to, go over it. But, when the review comes, I want to be going over stuff that I know is going to be on the test. So definitely look into that. Go to PSI's website, go to your state, and go to the bulletin and go to the outline to see what exactly is going to be on the test. All right, guys, so those were my 5 tips. I also want to let you know to not burn yourself out. Don't be studying 12 to 24 hours a day. Make sure you're only studying about 2 hours a day. Review your questions. It's a lot of information. It is a bit on the hard side. However, it is not impossible to pass. I passed on my first try. So it's definitely possible to get it done. You just gotta put in the work. You gotta study. Make sure you're studying the right information. Don't overwork yourself. Don't overthink it. I had someone come up to me and was like, I'm so scared to take it. I hear all this bad stuff about it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many times you take the test. You can get your license. You may have to take the class over. It doesn't matter. You still can get your license. So just don't think too much about it. It's hard, but it's doable. So if you take these 5 tips and run with it, you probably can pass on your first time too. So I hope that was some help for you guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. And that's all I have this week, and I will see you next week. Bye.